Ignore them by now, they're probably growing on you, but it's going to be USG starting on the attacking side here on Volskaya and Vici to defend, so this is where we might even see that patented, well I'm going to say patented because they're the only guys that are playing it, Soldier 76 and Mercy combination up on the high ground here. We've seen this played in the World Cup actually, group stages so far, and it's going to be Yumu on the Soldier 76, and you're right, it's Eagle goes to the Zenyatta, but no Mercy here.
Yeah, so Eagle's the one that plays Mercy in this combo, but instead they want to go a different route. So Yuma's gonna act as like a third support and like a second/third DPS. This is gonna be really tough to actually dismantle. However, Pepper get a cheeky pot shot off, catch him off guard. Especially when you're on the opposing high ground, it's really hard to take the enemy Reinhardt's shield down. They have a soldier who can just tear through it. You can already see it being dismantled. This is going to be tough. I don't know if USG are prepared to kind of deal with this.
Pepper does have the damage to break through the shield if he needs to do that as well, and he's getting those hits in. This might force Vici back here. Thank you, oh my lord. Yes, someone actually got put to sleep on the other side of that shield. That's quite interesting.
Dragon
here.
Strike.
Yeah, it's available. I mean, you probably don't want to fire it from this grade, but look at USG getting up close. He's going to fall down. Now the Dragon Strike comes in. Will be able to get any damage off the back of this one. It doesn't look like it, but he's forced Vici getting right back. XPG going to go down there as well. Pepper finally falls to Yumi, but he's all on his own. And USG have managed to take this point by storm. They're going to take it away from Vici, and now it's Dia and Zim spawning in, but they're nowhere close enough to help here.
Wow, once that shield disappeared out of Tanku, it was immediately free kills for Pepper. Headshot after headshot, body shot after body shot, building up his Dragon Strike as the first ultimate of the game was insane, and it forced him in such a rough position. He actually killed XPG with the Dragon Strike, but was just constantly taken away because the positioning that Vici had, and now they're on the second point. They have 6.5 minutes for USG to finish off this map. Vader is doing a great job of maintaining his energy at 80 currently for himself, and the Groucho Surge is actually relatively close to coming up. All it takes is one good ultimate, one good combo, and that's not going to be it. No.
That's the Earth Shadow coming down. It does at least knock Tanky towards his knees, and he's picked up. The Yuma's going to fall down, and Vici plays a little bit cheaply here. Now, for USG to push and actually get the victory here, they need to clean them up, and it's going to be the Groucho Surge. This might be what they need to get the win. It's going to be Transcendence forced out very, very early here by Eagle. He gets knocked around a little bit. It lets him stall out for a degree, but now it's Vici very stagnant on this point.
Pepper takes on Yuma as well. The Tracer's just trying to stall for time. He's still at 90 energy. AKTF takes the kill on a tank, goes a charge through, and on a nano, Crystal top that. They're killing Vici one by one. The Tracer's finally going to come back in, but how long are they really going to be able to stall for at this rate?
The Dragon Strike came through as well. That was pretty big. Just one player. It's 6 players for USG up on this point here. Dia and Zim fall down. Now the Tracer just trying to stall things out, but Yumi's come down as well. It's going to be Vici not able to get to the point quite in time. At least Tanky gets there. He took a lot of damage on the charge through. Now he's going to be battered down. The charge comes into the wall, and it's going to be USG staying alive. They're not losing any players here. Eagle falls down. It's a one-by-one trickle for Vici onto the point, and that's not enough. They can't establish themselves a foothold. They've got the Tracer jumping in back and forth on the point, but that's not really enough to keep this one in stasis for long. Vici can't put anything together, and USG come out of nowhere with 5 minutes and 17 in the time make. That's a very competitive opening here, to say the least.
Okay, so there was like 2 great things that happened in that game. One, for USG, Yumu got picked off by the Hanzo. In the first engagement, like when they switched to Tracer on the second point to hold on to, he picked him off. And what's so key about that is, didn't even have Pulse Bomb after 3 cycles of playing Tracer. After 3 cycles, because he died immediately the first time, if he got any chip damage in, he would have had Pulse Bomb, and that could have been the turning point. He would have picked up a kill or 2, ideally hit the Pulse Bomb, and that would turn the tides of the fight slowly. It would have allowed Vici to come back in and trickle in time after time after time to finally turn it around. However, another great combo for USG, the Sleep Dart into a Hanzo. It's like a guaranteed kill. So you get the full charge on your arrow, you hit the head with a scatter, or you hit it with a normal shot, and you kill someone. They did that to Mei multiple times.
I think it also happened to Zim as well on that first point. I think it was Zim that was put to sleep behind the shield somehow, and then XPG was able to get the extra damage across the line. So Volskaya comes out here, and we know Vici have played it, but that was a bit of a whitewash there as well. Uncommon to see it finish so early.
Considering they have the fastest time on the map and the fastest capture time on the map, like that's showing something.
They're going to need to show us that now as well. And I'm not really sold on Unsold stuff's ability to defend over a lot of these maps, with the exception of maybe Dorado, and I don't know how much that plays into difficulties for attacking sides and just sorting it out. But I mean, that's a big statement to make. That's a huge amount of time left in your bank.
Pepper on Reaper, if you hold that first choke point, he can do work. We saw that on Dorado. We've seen it multiple times in Dorado, actually, now that I think about it, when they played against Snake before. If they want to play the Reaper like Mei combo with a Reinhardt and Zarya in the front, you can stall for a lot of time. It comes down to, I think, Vici, if they're going to down. They're going to pull a Tracer or Genji out to flank around the backside to pull people away from the front, or if they want to run that aggressive composition with a Winston and Zarya.
Well, here we go. It's going to be the large, big old mechs there. Maybe antiquated in this day and age. Omnics are a little bit more sleek and effective, but they'll be overlooking this battle. It's going to be Zaya on a home lane, getting hooked in very early on. Probably not the speed at which she wanted to return back to home, but still, going to be hooks coming in from both sides there, and AKTM going to be the first one to be picked out here. That's a great start for Vici to press forward. That first pick going to help them push up.
Yeah, this is not actually looking good for USG either. AKTM's not going to get back to the point in time. Pepper's going to have to go big, who's playing McQueen this time, and Vici are taking every extra second they possibly need to actually capture this point on the first go. But the thing is, AKTM's going to be able to actually reinforce when the Nano Boost's already been popped out on the Tenku, who's actually charged into wall and hasn't been able to accomplish anything. Yeah, not a lot, at least with that Nano Boost, but still, Vici are making good progress up on towards this point. Now, Vader is the one to benefit from the Nano Boost. Not really sure about that one here as well. Forced to reload and maybe lacking a little bit of DPS, but a Graviton would have been good to have there, but purely for stall and nothing else. It'll be Vici to push on towards the point there fairly comfortably. Quite a few ults cycled through Jason, but it never really looked like Vici were struggling to stay on that point. Yeah, true. And honestly, I like how Vader, I mean, other people in that situation would use Graviton Surge, thinking, all right, we can hold the point, we can do this. But instead he thinks forward, thinks to the future, and how important this Graviton Surge will be, paired with an Earth Shatter, to actually hold this point. They want to drain as much time as they possibly can away from Vici, who have an Earth Shatter and a Sound Barrier themselves, and not to mention, look at XPG. 85% on his Nano Boost. He used it that last fight alone to get them to capture the point. This could be huge. This could be very explosive second cap here for Vici if they can pull it off right.
Vici set up in a position here as well where they can jump down from the high ground and essentially dictate the pace of the fight. And USG either have to contest this or give them a lot of space so they have actually time to disengage if there's going to be a charge or a speed boost or something like that to get Vici up close and personal. They do want to try and charge up some of these ultimates, but they're pretty much ready to go. They've got the Nano Boost available and the Earth Shatter. Graviton Surge being used here, and this Nano Boost might not work out too well for Yumu. He's forced to Shadow Walk out, actually get on towards Sparky there as well. It was just one shot to the chest was enough to deal with him, and now the Death Blossom comes in. Going to be the Earth Shatter over the top there as well. That's big for Vici. They might be able to push on towards this point now. It's almost as if Yumu catches Pepper as he's thrown in its direction.
Yeah, but we're going to come into the second chance at the USG. They have AKTM who has his Blizzard available. He's already being pressured. He's actually taking out freaking. No, he gets it down, but there's no one else there to toss to stop it, and they capture it with extra time remaining compared to USG, who had such a flawless time. 5:51 left in the bank. This is gonna, I think we're gonna see multiple rounds here.
It's giving me a migraine. Well, it's giving me a migraine. Like, that was, yeah, a very interesting defense there. We could see the attempt from USG to open up with the Graviton Surge there as well, lock them in. Now that was actually after the Nano Boost came in. So if you're Reaper or if you're Yumu, you need to go, okay, I need to get out of here, I need to make use of this ultimate at the very least. But there was an Earth Shatter very quickly after that for Tenku, so a lot of the ultimates did come up at a good time here for Vici to lay them in. Obviously, when you see a Nano Boosted Reaper running at you when you thought you'd won the fight with a Graviton, you do need to react to that, and he probably drew a lot more attention than he otherwise would have.
The thing is, Yumu, he got one shot off during the Nano Boost because he was stuck in the Graviton Surge and had a race form away. He got one shot off, but it wasn't the one shot that was so impactful. It was the pairing of the Earth Shatter Death Blossom after that just completely turned the tide to that fight. It was
he also had a Sound Barrier as well when he went for that Death Blossom, so it wasn't as if it was like super risky, high-stake stuff. He had a lot. There was a lot of ultimates used by Vici on that push, a lot.
I was kind of surprised to see USG give up so much ground necessarily. Knowing they had the Graviton Surge, when they had to come through such a tight area, you hit them like right in that position, and you have more of a chance to successfully fight. Even if you do lose the fight there, you're going to have that guaranteed second chance of a second fight onto the point to maybe turn it around again. But nonetheless, that's going to have what they have to deal with. They both have 5+ minutes of time available. Let's see what they're going to pull off. Pepper again, back to Hanzo.
Yeah, and with Vici still dependent now, they're going to bring in the Mercy this time as well to pair up with Yumu. So they still want to go for the Soldier 76 here, but instead of the Ana, it is going to be the Mercy for Eagle.
Yeah, this is what we saw them do against IG Fire in the semifinals of the playoff bracket when it came to the qualifiers. And again, they're doing the exact same thing, transitioning positions. But if Eagle can stay alive, if he can get a res off, like, you charge so quickly on ultimate when you're paired with a soldier who can sit there and just hold left click, especially against a shield like this. And actually challenging out on this bridgeway here instead of letting them come to them, which eliminates the pressure that Pepper can apply. However, because they're so grouped up in such a tight area, it's almost impossible to miss a shot when there's no shield.
I don't know, it's a bit scary there as well. You can see that Vici aren't quite sure if they do want to commit to this one. Maybe they're just trying to avoid the constant shots coming in. Yumu has to be careful. If he spends too much time outside, that shield is going to be struggling. XPG forced down, and that's the first pick. That was to a fire strike, if I'm not mistaken, that came through the shield there. XPG not quick enough to dodge it. Now Tactical Visor going to come in. Oh, Pepper gets a finish off on Yumu. That could have been nasty for USG, but a good pick off, and now a Dragon Strike available for this Hanzo could be the deciding factor.
Oh, he gets slapped! He got slapped in the high noon! Nobody coming up big to stop DF from doing anything, and they're going to capture the first point on the first attack again. 4 minutes. Go for the second. This is This is getting rough.
That's a situation for D that really taxes your mental bandwidth because you know you need to be careful where you stand because you know there's a Hanzo there that's wrecking you from the side and you're trying to go for a dead eye. You also know, well, okay, I'm actually facing into 4 people right now, so tough for a McCree to come out in that situation, but again, here's the push.
It's XPG, like why did he die to a fire strike? You see that coming from
Yeah,
so far away. That was a major mistake that turned the tides of that fight for USG in general, but who are they looking for? There's someone coming around the top side. Is it going to be Pepper? No, it's actually the tank.
Yeah, it's going to be USG coming around from the back here as well. Sparky has his Earth Shatter available, so we could jump down. He's looking for a good position to get the Wombo set up. Pepper can capitalize here with the Dragon Strike. There it is. Is he going to let this one go? No, just going to use the standard arrows, but Zim actually comes up. He traces and traces this push over towards the back. He actually gets himself 2 kills and now even looking for a 3rd. He's wall charged up and he's going to be helped out quite nicely there. Charge comes in out of the right heart. It's going to be Tank you to assist here and it's going to be a wipe here for Vici. So they do manage to slow USG down here. They're out of ultimates for now. They need to build them up. Yeah. Dia will have a Blizzard not long. Hence.
Yeah, and USG actually were, I was going to say, kind of smart about that. Thing is they used Sound Barrier and Earth Shatter. They saved those when they knew the fight was going bad. When Zin came around from the backside and killed off Pepper and killed off Nobody, it would have been very good coming to the next attack. But look how different it is in terms of both teams holding the second point, where, you know, USG are more than happy to sit back on point, where Vici wants to hold a little bit more forward, especially with Hugo on the Reaper to kind of force it into him to funnel kills into this man. And not to mention, Dio can just wall you off.
Yeah, and on top of that, Dio can also allow Vici to challenge that high ground. He can just wall under his team and the entirety of Vici can engage. But here comes a Dragon Strike through the Graviton Surge. It's going to have to be a pretty darn good one here, and not really anything coming away from that Dragon Strike. Fortunately, Sparky and Vader are getting the damage done here. This Aya being down, the Reinhardt now dropping here for Vici, so definitely numbers favouring USG. Pepper wants to hit a few more of these shots and get those key pickoffs here, because mostly Dia staying scarce of those arrows, avoiding him now with the wall coming up. Pepper needs to commit to climbing over that one. He actually can't even slow down Yumu. He tries to go for the scatter. It's not going to be enough here. He even tries to get the palm in, but still fails.
Yeah, for USG to actually, I think, take the second point, they have to have a really, really clean fight. The problem is they've lost too many people just on the push-up alone. And they need to have secondary ultimates to follow the second attack with. Like, you're almost going to guarantee see a second fight out of Vici. You need to have something to make that another clean fight. If you trickle these kills one by one, we're going to see the Hanamura effect, where teams are able to contest for 5-6 minutes like we did see in the World Cup qualifiers.
That's right.
You need to have these clean fights. And with Vici having these 3 crucial ultimates up, I don't see USG doing it in this next attack.
So USG do want to go up towards this high ground here. We can see Yumu's ready. He's ready to come in after the fact. The second wave, I guess. Oh, not everyone can jump across. That's bad. AKTM needs to back away. Maybe it's a abort mission here. It was only Sparker that managed to get across the gap, but I think he's still up there here, so he might need some help in a moment. Yumu's still waiting above where AKTM is standing right now as well. So Vici have what they need. Good hook though. That's caught the main, but it's going to be Dia going into Ice Point very quickly.
That's a good Transcendence pop as well. The whole Hawks going to be coming through, and they're actually pulling to the ground, so it's a Transcendence. I don't know if it's actually going to be enough for this one, but Yumu onto the side. He's looking to pick up his kills. He's going to get frozen up. The whole team of USG is frozen, and Sparky will be the last man to fall, and Vici will hold again.
Babby's first Reaper play of the game there for Yumi. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, right? When that Blizzard comes down, it's all too easy for Yumi to step forward. And the ult staggering actually has been pretty good here for Vici. Now, they still have an Earth Shatter, and, of course, that's been Yumu holding on to the Death Blossom. He had that a good minute ago, but he knew he didn't need to use it inside the Blizzard. It's just overkill, so he's hung on to that one now, and it's still ult advantage for Vici. 1 minute and 6 seconds remain for USG.
Yeah, and AKTM switched over to the Reaper now and is playing the Roadhog before. With the minute left to go, you have to kind of wonder, will they build enough ultimates up in time to make this work? You're going to have the Deadeye out of Pepper, which I'm curious to see if he's going to go around the side onto the platforms to try to catch Vici off guard, but that's like a desperate attempt to make something happen, and Yumu always behind them. This is going to be a slaughter. Actually, not able to pick up really too much of this one, but it eventually gets the damage in enough. The rest of the teammates are able to come through and pick up the kills.
Soundbarrier came out there for defuse in that fight, but it was a little bit too late, or maybe just not well timed in general, because now, as the fight continues and that extra health is sort of decayed away, Vici just fighting forward here. Zim playing out of his skin at the moment. These last couple of kills, not able to quite finish the right click off, but he knows he's forced USG back. They have one last push, and that's going to be all. They used the sound barrier there in that last fight. Because Eagle got picked off with his own sound barrier so early for Vici, it was a big advantage for USG, but they sort of waited too long in that window, and then they even didn't really hit the timing correctly for the sound barrier. Yes, we saw the Reaper go down, but it was not avail. It wasn't really doing anything here, so it's a bit weird for USG now. It's going to be Pepper. All hope on him. He's going to try and go for a big Ditto, but the shield's going to be in the way of the Transcendence, so it doesn't really matter. It's still nothing coming from it. Yumi gets himself 2. Pepper only gets the 1. It's Tank you to fall now. Dia trying to get the Ice Spikes in, but now it's going to be a Blizzard. The stall is going to be available here for Vici Gaming. They could win this fight outright. It looks like they will.
You can't do anything when the Blizzard's put directly in the middle of that point. There's nowhere safe you can stand. There's nowhere you can hide from getting frozen there. Vici bouncing back after losing the both points on the first round of attack so quickly, able to put up a good defense when it mattered. And credit to Yumu there. It's a great position out of Reaper time and time again. Dia as well in the May had some fantastic blizzards. We saw it catch 4 people on USG. And now the pressure's on. Can USG do the same? Can they hold this first point at all?
I thought Zim had a fantastic half on that Zarya there as well. I mean, not only did you see some of those kills towards the end, but if you remember when, I think it was actually Pepper and the Reinhardt from USG managed to get behind up on top of the causeway at the back. Zim responded to that really well on the Zarya, managed to come in. I think he actually killed both the Hanzo and the Reaper there as well.
Oh, you mean when he killed the Hanzo and the Ana when they flanked the high ground? Yeah. He actually stopped the Dragon Strike combo from coming through, though there wasn't really anything to combo with because your Shadow was used and he was more than happy to just sit back on it because they didn't have the Graviton.
If you can force a team off towards the left wing there as well, there's not a whole lot of space and you can be confined to sort of walking into a Dragon Strike there, but still, it was quite impressive from him on that Zarya. I think he played a really, really good game. So I'm not sold on this first point hold from Vici though. The 76 doesn't really get me excited. I mean, having your Zenyatta picked off to a Fire Strike coming towards you, not a great way to start that off here. So Vici, a couple of screws to be tightened here, but that holds pretty much what they're looking for now, and they just need to exceed themselves, or exceed USG at the very least.
Well, keep in mind, if Vici do cap the first point and are not able to capture the second, we will be going to a full replay of the map because it'll be a draw. That's the way it works here over at the APAC 2016, so we could be in for a long one here. It's not over just yet. Let's see how Vici are going to go about the attack. They're still more than happy to play the Reaper and the Roadhog combo, so Sparky has no chance to keep his shield up against this comp. Look how fast they're playing the hook. And AKTM, I'm not sure how he missed that one when they're all grouped up and clumped up together, but they have been funneled into a room. This is actually really dangerous for Vici. They can't really get out of this position really easily, really quickly.
Wall comes in there as well, and a couple of Vici players are going to be separated from the rest of the team. That's a perfect way to split them in half. AKTM coming forward, it's going to be Pepper as well. The Ice Spikes are coming in thick and fast. Still, it's a trade back and forth here. The fact that Yumi can get on towards Sparky, despite USG cutting Vici off from each other, is a bit interesting now. The fight going back and forth. You can see the jump. Oh, hello, Tanky comes out of nowhere there. AKTM just manages to react in time, and the Blitz is going to come in on towards the point for USG.
He's going to buy a lot of time, though. Also, forcing the Reinhardt Pierce by himself, has no shit available anymore. He's going to charge straight through. Eventually get picked off by AKTM, but the thing is, USG have lost so many men. Vici are going to have quicker respawns to come back in, or reinforcements, and Yumu, he's going to have Death Blossom up in just a second. This is going to be hard to hold.
Yeah, whole lot coming across the top here, and Yumu trying to get himself out of this one, or just at long range, going to pick Pepper off. Was hoping to try and freeze him from extreme distance, but the fact that Yumu now has a Death Blossom to come in as well, if you bring that into a team already in disarray, it's very, very hard to shut down. I think the Nano Boost being used here on Sparky, trying to get something from him. He's just being pushed out of the fight completely.
Got an Earth Shatter, actually connects on it too, and Yumu's going to fall for this one. A great charge coming through. He's going to buy a little bit of time for the checkpoint still actually being captured. Ground Surge comes through, and they have no healing for this with the Sounder in the nick of time, keeps them alive, and Sparky's just not able to finish them off.
Well, now Sparky trying to stay alive, but again, damage coming to the backside. It's going to be Zim keeping himself scarce, getting it done. Thank you as well. Dia arrives on that Roadhog, and that'll be enough here to take this point here for Vici. USG had to contest very close. They wanted to try and shut Vici out completely, but that's a risky strategy in itself. I understand they don't have confidence anymore in that high ground, that weird sort of Mexican standoff, but pushing forward and trying to hold close has afforded them no greater success.
This is going to be rough here with Zim. Good shield actually does get him back to 100 energy. The problem is there's a lot of ultimates available for Vici. They don't have the Graviton Surge, but an Earth Shatter Death Blossom could be enough to finish this one off. And Sparky, the pressure's on him. He has to get Earth Shatter. The problem is they're all around him. They're all on the high ground, taking this position away from them, not allowing USG to get comfortable, and they're going to go for the push directly into this fight.
That's perfect. The Earth Shatter from Tanky should be able to set this one up quite nicely here for Vici Gaming. But it's an Earth Shatter, a response from Sparky, and that seems to have one-upped them at this stage. Vader gets himself too, and AKTM as well. Now Dia going to be the subject of a lot of criticism and scrutiny. In fact, as he falls, USG pressure onto this one quite nicely, and it is going to have to be Vici getting the heck out. The one bonus for Vici here is that in that fight, it was only the Earth Shatter that was really committed. After the counter Earth Shatter came in from Sparky, they held up on those ultimates. They're going to have them available here in the next fight.
Problem is, there's a Graviton Surge up, ready for Vader. He did a lot of damage in that last fight because the energy was that, and the constant damage he was able to do to D on the Roadhog is not mitigated at all. He's going to apply some pressure. They're actually using a Graviton Surge around the corner. There's really no backlist. The Blizzard's going to come down to freeze quite a few people, but do they have the damage? It looks like they will. They'll be able to finish them off here, and USG will live to fight another day. And Vici has to go back to the drawing board. They used a whole pump there.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little bit concerned about that fight, because you probably should know if the Graviton comes in, there's a main at the flank. She's probably going to lose out in that fight. And I understand that D is trying to keep them at arm's length, but now he's going to switch to McCree anyway. So whether that was the plan beforehand or now, he's going to go for it in this case. So no more triple tank here for Vici. Going back to what I guess they more often go for. They've got 2 minutes 45 left to sort of finish this map. If they take this point, they win. If they don't, it's going to be a draw. We're going to have to replay the whole thing. So we need to see a little bit more from Vici here, but they've got some key ultimates. They've got the Reaper Cop to play available to them, of course, with the Nano Boost on top. it's all about finding a good spot for him to jump down from.
And hoping that AKTM doesn't just whole hog you away and just completely waste those 2 big ultimates. So a lot of pressure's gonna come onto him. Also, you know, the Earth Shatter available for Sparky. Vader's already up to 70% of his Graviton Surge again. We got pushes coming in. They're gonna get the higher control second time. What are they going to accomplish off the back of this?
Well, I don't know. It's going to be a sound barrier user. Again, that was a little bit late, but Yumi's going to come in over the top. Only 1 kill. The entirety of USG was so split up that Yumi wasn't able to spread the damage in any sort of constructive manner. He backs away with only 9 health left, and that will surely be stripped from him in a matter of moments here. 2 minutes still remaining for Vici. Now, that's a lot of time to work with here. But still, USG have held them at arm's length. Now, both these teams, as we go back on towards a second amount of time bank with strong defenses on this last point. Vici at least know what their objective is. They know what they need to do. They have at least the Earth Shatter to play in with, and a Graviton not far away. Look
at the combo we have again, though. Graviton Surge Blizzard out of USG ready to go. They use this to hold them off into this choke point before. I'm imagining they're not going to go for it this time. Let them come through the doors just a little bit of edge, get them all come together, pop it down, Blizzard to follow up with, and this is going to be rough. They're going to all fall.
Don't commit ult if you're Vici right now. They realize there's no point. So they draw out 2 ultimates, they spend none of their own. Yes, in the ensuing fight, of course, there have been a couple that have been ticked up for USG, but that's the best you can hope for Vici. You're an attacking team, you need to push, you know, in a predictable manner. You know, you're probably going to have to, you know, be subject to these area of affectability. So just cop it sweet. You've got a minute 10 to go. It's not ideal for Vici, but they've scored enough time as it is.
Sparky was able to get his Earth Strike up. I think he hit a Fire Strike through like multiple people in that Graviton Surge, and he just spikes up.
12.5% per target, or is it 7?
It's insane. No, it's higher than 7. It's insane. You can get like 50% off if you hit like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah. So I think it's like 12.5%.
But that Earth Shatter, like a Nano Boost Earth Shatter out of Sparky, he's gonna get his Earth Shatter back up again once he uses it. And he has a Nano Boost on top of him. The Earth Shatter came in. I'm not sure if people connected onto, but Dia able to get some decent damage in. And the Deadeye from the backside is gonna take it out. Oh my god, AKTM takes him down to prevent that from doing any damage.
Sparky in a bit of a weird position there as well. Whole Hog being used from back behind him, but USG winning this fight out pretty comfortably here. Zim gets on towards AKTM, but that's not going to be a kill that materializes in any sort of big ways. It doesn't manifest in Vici actually managing to take this point here. A lot of ults being bursted down. Vici probably have one last push here, and now they actually have an ult advantage. Not the best to work with, but again, it's none available for USG. They've got to go now.
But they transition the ults yet again. Sparky used his as well as nobody, and Vader's going to have Graviton Surge again. This time though, Pepper doesn't have it available. They're going to have to make this final push count, or we're going to the map yet again. 5 seconds remaining. Is anyone going to touch the point first of all?
The big Earth Shatter. That's a damn big Earth Shatter coming in here, and Vici pressing on towards the point. Tanky gets himself 2 big kills, and now we're into overtime. The damage being done. Nobody gets frozen in place here, but the Blizzard on towards the point. That could be massive. Yumu with 2 kills away. A couple people from Vici just staying up towards the side. Now they can retake this point. They've got position, they've got control, they've got the numbers here. 6 players on. A little bit of a stall attempt there from DP. He's going to be brushed aside. This is possible for Vici.
They wall it off as well. Actually, the Graviton Surge there, it doesn't seem like it connected too well. Yuma's able to do a lot of work on AKTM. The point is still being contested. There's a death bust coming through, but the Nano Boost on Reinhardt is doing some work. Sparky takes down Eagle, and the point still hasn't been taken for either team.
Still 5 players up though for Vici. They're going to keep fighting through. It's going to be a Nano Boost on the Reinhardt, but he's knocked to the ground. The Earth Shatter comes in at a good time. Yumi though gets around the Reinhardt shield. He gets himself another one. This could be it for Vici. They're turning things around. USG are running out of numbers. Now the Diva even coming out here. Will that be enough for AKTM? He's going to get pinned up against the wall and knocked out of his suit rather quickly. And now, overtime ticking. Vici Gaming have done it. They get themselves 4 points. They stay alive and they knock